Nos Music Network Magazine.
Hi, it's Stuart of Time in Antarctica here for Knots Music Network Magazine. I'm here with Paul Walker. Hi Paul, how you doing?
Hi Stuart, I'm doing fine, mate.
Good. So, tell us a bit about Paul Walker.
In this incarnation, country blues slide guitarist, fairly rough vocals. I do some of my own tunes, a lot of the old tunes revived. I do some Stones music, good old JJ Cale.
Yep.
Bit of a chilled out vibe, really. Nice and cool. I like intimate little venues. Play at the Pillar Box in Sherwood on Mansfield Road. Play there very regularly. Lovely little place to play. That's the kind of place I'd rather play rather than, if I ever get the chance, big halls or stadia. I don't think what I do suits that. I'm more little gatherings, nice and quiet, nice and chilled out.
Okay, and you prefer that in terms of the vibe you get, or do you find smaller audiences more responsive? What particularly appeals to you about those small intimate venues?
Well, I think a bit of both, really. I think the more intimate venues you can connect with your audience better, I think. Okay. And the more you connect with the people out there listening to you, the more they respond to you. Everyone plays better if they're not playing in a bubble.
Yeah.
You always bounce off what the audience is doing. You bounce off how they're reacting. Otherwise, you're just photocopying the last gig, really.
Yeah, it becomes more of a conversation, doesn't
yes,
it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, we'll talk about a bit more about you playing live later, but let's start with talking about you as a musician. So how long have you been playing?
Good few years, since me mid-20s. I'm not saying how old I am, but so we're looking at getting on 40 years. Years and years ago, and folk clubs, I don't know if people remember folk clubs, singers' night, that sort of thing. Sort of cut my teeth a little bit on there, but then I went off travelling France and Spain and spent a goodly amount of time out there busking on street corners and stuff.
Wow, that was
living off that.
Yeah.
I think that's where I really learnt my trade, learnt my craft, really, because people say it's always difficult to get up on stage, you know, it's nerve-wracking. What's nerve-wracking is pitching up in a town with no money and sitting up in a street corner singing for your supper, because if you don't make money, you don't eat. That's nerve-wracking.
That's pretty raw, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you obviously made that work.
Oh, I did make it work, but you know, it's tiring. I'm doing it every day, so
yeah.
So then back to the UK, started working, didn't play for a few years. Family life got in the way somewhat. Then I got the itch to play again, and started off writing tunes, doing the usual sort of folk rock stuff, of which I think there's a lot about now. Mm-hmm. About maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was finding I was getting very, very stale indeed. Almost humming gloves up, almost thought, no, I've had enough of this. And then saw this on eBay, this lovely resonator guitar here, and thought, wow, I'll put in a little bid. No one else bid.
Nice.
And I won her. Open D tuning, a ceramic slide, and a whole new world opened out. Since then, I've been trying to get to grips with this, writing some tunes, and kind of falling back in love with the blues and with all the old stuff we all used to listen to when we were younger, roots music and that sort of thing. And I've tried to give it a bit of a contemporary edge, which is why I'm sticking to Open D, because that's more of a raw tuning. Updating some old tunes, reworking Stone stuff, as I said.
Yeah.
You know, Cajun music, JJ Cale stuff. I'm just trying to get a good broad sweep of music, a little bit niche perhaps, but not too narrow that I don't appeal to a lot of audience. And I think what I do goes down. I like to try and do a tune that people say, ooh, I haven't heard that for years. That's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, remind people of stuff they've heard and forgotten about.
Yeah.
What kind of Stones stuff do you play?
Well, I'm going to do one today in a session.
Okay.
Favourite album, and I might stir some pots here, but I think Beggar's Banquet is probably my favourite album. Do some tunes off that, so Factory Girl, it's always good fun. No Expectations, as I said, which I'll play today. A couple of other ones I'm actually looking at their earlier back catalogue. You know, It's All Over Now, Used to Love Her, those sort of tunes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned that you had a sort of a period where you felt stale, and I've been through that myself, where you get a bit, I guess, disillusioned, but it does often just take something like that, isn't it? Like a little change in the process, or a little bit of a different way to approach it to kind of reinvigorate the whole process. And do you find that since that the appetite for doing it has come back completely wholesale? And
oh yes, big time. You know, I'm really looking to do proper gigs. You know, I'm looking for, as I have done in the past, you know, paid gigs. I'm starting to pick up paid gigs now because I really feel that it's nice to, as a musician, to stretch your legs a bit, you know, to do 2 45-minute sets so you can really put a show together. Even as a solo artist, even sat on a stool, I think you can still project and you can still take an audience with you, rather than they have their place, I guess, open mics and the other almost pay-to-play things that are around, but playing for 10, 15 minutes and then going home is not enough these days for me, I'm afraid. You know, I want to be playing a proper gig, like at the Pillar Box. You know, I do them 2 45s, and I'm going to be playing. Where am I going to be playing next? Place in Derby, the Old Dolphin Inn. I'm playing next week again, proper sets. I think the Old Volunteer down on Carlton Road.
Right. Yep.
Going to be playing there. That I emailed them with some details and how much they're going to charge them. They just got back to me, says, yeah, we'll give you a go. You can come and play. I think it's in middle of May for them. So, you know, things are picking up musically. And I think, as you said, it's a little bit difficult when you're not doing the usual sort of 70s, 80s, top 40 stuff. But I think if the music's good, if the music stands up, then you'll take the audience with you, you'll grab them with it, you know, rather than just letting the fact that they're popular tunes carry it. That's not enough, I don't think.
I mean, that's where you earn your money as a performer, isn't it? It's engaging with the audience, and
of course
like you
it is,
say, pulling them in and getting them to appreciate what you're doing, and actually going, like you say, no, I've not heard that tune for ages, and that is exactly how I remember it, or that sounds very similar to how I remember it, and you know, getting them engaged with it and into what you're doing. So,
I mean, when I do my little gig out the road in Sherwood, I'm not saying that people come in there to drink cocktails, to have a meet before they go out for a meal or after a meal. I'm not saying that they come in and they stop what they're doing and look transfixed at me. But if you can start playing a tune and someone will be having a chat and they'll go, oh, that was good, yeah. That's big in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of being covers when you're doing covers, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're paid to be. I probably shouldn't use the word jukebox, but you know what I mean.
I was hesitating to go there, but yeah.
You know what I mean, because that sounds like you're just churning it out, but which you're not. But you are paid to be for background music.
Of course,
of course, it's a different.
They don't
vibe,
go there
isn't
to
it?
watch you. They
They
go there to do what they're going to do for their drinks, for their little snacks, but also you add to the night for them. And just because you're doing a cover, as I say, it doesn't mean you have to do a photocopy.
No.
You can add your own interpretation. You can slow it down. You can stretch things out. You can give a bit more colour to it.
Yeah.
And bend it in your own way, really.
Do you play your own material as well?
I do, yeah. I'm working on writing some new tunes at the moment. I'm going to do one of my tunes today here in the session.
Excellent, good.
But as I said, it's been quite a steep learning curve to go from playing what I was playing. It's starting again. It's completely starting again.
Okay.
You've got to relearn things. You've got to forget things you used to know. And I'm just, after a couple of years, starting to get to grips with it now.
Is that just by virtue of the fact you're wearing a slide on one of your fingers, and what was the
that was a thing that took a long time to get, is what kind of slide. Tried a glass one,
Right.
brass slide, a stainless steel slide. I got a box full of them. But then my good lady bought me a ceramic slide. As soon as I used that transformed
Right,
things.
it was like, that's
just the
the
fact
one.
of getting the correct slide to use. And you get to know the rhythms and get to know your instrument and get to know that the rattles and the clacks are all part of it. You know, as hopefully you'll hear later. So
kind of adds the character and
Exactly,
the
yeah.
rawness of it.
yeah,
So you have a very distinctive vocal style.
I think so.
It's kind of very Tom Waits. It reminds me of Tom Waits. Very gradually, kind of very low, almost drawled. Is that just you? Is that how you sing, or is that something you've kind of worked on to sort of fit what you're doing on the guitar?
I think it's evolved really.
Yeah.
With my age, too many cigarettes and whiskey over the years, and my voice has changed. You know, and I think your voice drops,
Yeah.
and it wasn't a conscious, I'm going to change my vocal style to suit what I'm playing. I just, because I'd had a bit of a layoff, I picked this up, and the first tune I actually got to grips with really was that No Expectations by the Stones, because it just fitted. I did it by pure accident, just slid up to the fifth and slid up to the seventh fret and thought, I recognise that. Started singing
Right,
along, and
yeah.
this voice came out that I didn't recognise, and I thought, oh, here we go. Things are starting to click.
Cool.
So yeah, so it's all happy accidents really.
Yeah, I think that's the best way. That's
Yeah.
the best way. So, in terms of the guitar influences, you've always talked about J.J. Cale and the Stones. Who are your biggest sort of influences with your slide playing, on your guitar playing, do you think? For what you're doing now?
Yeah, a lot of the old guys I listen to. It's quite eclectic really. I like Ry Cooder,
Yeah.
one of the masters.
Yeah.
I listen to Sonny Landreth, who is an electric slide player, not because I have any ambitions of ever playing like him, because I haven't got enough years left to learn to play, but I think really more what I'm doing is listening to people I've always listened to and thinking, can I work this tune? Can I work that sound into what I'm doing now, rather than specifically picking out slide players and saying, oh, I want to play like that.
Right, yeah.
Because again, that's the fatal trap of you end up sounding like other people.
Yeah. Or constantly feeling like you're not as good as them.
Yeah,
And
be yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
Always, you know, if I can, any advice to the younger ones coming up behind me, of which there are hundreds of thousands, be yourself. Don't try and be anybody else, because you'll just end up a pale copy
yeah, and probably not satisfied within yourself.
and not satisfied within yourself. Write some tunes. They might sound rubbish, and they probably will the first 10 or 15 you write. You keep writing, you'll get one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I when I started out, I mean, God, I've got years worth of material I'll probably never release because I was finding my feet. So, what are you working on now? What's next for Paul Walker?
Gigs, really.
Yep.
Like I say, I've got some gigs in pubs coming up. I'm going to be playing, I don't know if you know of this, it's worthwhile checking out, is Gotham Fest
Okay.
this year. I think it's in July. Really, really worth going to. And it's a nice little free festival with local people playing. Lots of pubs. Looking out to Derby as well now. So it's really just still honing my craft, writing new tunes, getting gigs and having a ball.
Excellent. That sounds good. Where can we find more about what you do?
Right, you can hear a good selection of tunes on Reverb Nation sites,
Right.
which is reverbnation.com/Paul Walker Solo.
Yep.
I'm on Facebook. You have to look for me because there's another bloke called Paul Walker that was out there that
That's
died,
inconsiderate.
isn't it? But yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm Paul Walker as well. But if you go to Reverb Nation, all the information's on there. Just put Reverb Nation, Paul Walker solo. Gigs are listed. There's some tunes to listen to. I think there's a video or two on there.
Great.
And that's me for now, anyway. I'll keep you posted.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Paul. Good to
No
chat to you.
problem. And you.
Cheers.
Thanks very much,
Bye.
man. Cheers. Take me to the station. Put me on that train. Got no expectations. I'm gonna pass through here again. Once I was such a rich man. Now I am so poor. Never in my sweet short life have I felt like this before. Your heart just like a diamond. Cast your pearls at swine. When I saw you leaving me, girl, you packed my peace of mind. Yeah, love is like the water splashes on that stone. Our love is like our music, yes, here. Then it's gone. Take me down to the airport. Put me on that plane, girl. Got no expectations at all. I'm gonna pass. Ain't gonna pass through here. Yeah. born Cassius Clay, 1942. And he died, Muhammad Ali, 2016. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Hands they can't hit, but your eyes they can't see. Hey, now you see me, and now you don't. George thinks he will, but I know he won't. Hey, Muhammad Ali, oh Muhammad Ali, oh Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Tussle with gators, I wrestle with whales, or handcuff with lightning, put thunder in jail. It's hard to be humble, as great as I am. Yeah, I'm a great fighter, not far from Sam. Hey, Muhammad Ali, oh Muhammad Ali, oh Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Blood, leather, and bone, that's the tools I betrayed. Stepped into the ring, proud and unafraid. Oh, Muhammad Ali, hey, look at me for. Oh, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, stung like a bee. Oh, Muhammad Ali, hey, Muhammad Ali, oh, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, stung like a bee.